Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, second trading day of the week, also the second last day before the month of September closes. It's always a pleasure to be part of the markets team here at Metropole TV, hosting you and talking you through what has been happening on investments over the day and what to expect for the remainder of the day as well as the rest of the week. I'm your host and my name is Mbithe Mwema. Today, we take a look at what happened on equities yesterday. What was driving the market? Certainly, the volumes were down as expected at the beginning of the week. That's nothing new. We will be showing you the statistics from the beginning of the trading week on the NSE this week. As we wait for those statistics to come up, let's just take a deep dive on what is the other corporate news that is driving markets. In the local dailies, we have seen a stern warning from the United States of America to the Kenyan government, that's the central bank and treasury as well as the executive office, in as far as the currency is concerned. There is an ongoing agreement, conversation and negotiation between the government of Kenya and the government of the United States. They are trying to get into an agreement in terms of enhancing the value of goods and services that Kenya trades in terms of its obligations as well as trade negotiations with the United States. In line with this particular agreement, which is the AGOA agreement, the United States has actually cried foul and said that the central bank is actually manipulating the currency, and that's the exchange rate of the Kenya shilling against the United States dollar. Currently, the trades are going through at about 108 shillings to the US dollar. The United States is saying that there's a lot of manipulation as well as intervention by the central bank in this market, and they are crying foul and saying, let the market operate freely, let demand and supply determine the exchange rate for the currency, that is the Kenya shilling against the US dollar. This is another key thing that we are hearing because earlier on, at least over the last 12 months, we've also had the IMF come out strongly and say that the currency was overvalued. The last time we had IMF say this, the currency was at 102 shillings to the US dollar, and the expectation was it should weaken to the levels below 110. This conversation is back, and alongside this conversation hitting the pipeline today in terms of the news, we also expect the Central Bank of Kenya to make a decision on the Monetary Policy Committee. The central bank will be coming out with a decision, and as part of the market community here in Kenya, we will be looking out for guidance or any expectation of mindset in terms of what is the central bank thinking. Will the central bank retaliate to the strong sentiments coming out from the United States of America, or is it just good to know and moving on swiftly? The sentiments by the United States of America have been there time and time again, and what has been traditional or rather unique to our situation is that the central bank normally hears and sort of just moves on along and continues doing what it's doing. We don't think today will be any different, but we will be looking out for guidance once we see the Central Bank of Kenya monetary policy statement as well as follow through on the media briefing that's scheduled for tomorrow. Second key thing there, if you've already gleaned, is the fact that the central bank is holding its Central Bank Monetary Policy Committee meeting today. This is a meeting that looks at more than 200 data points to get a better understanding of what is happening in the economy and to be able to define the way forward. The key messaging from the central bank tends to be the central bank rate, which is the benchmark rate that offers a price point for all other assets in the economy. We expect no movement on this particular rate. We expect it to remain neutral, and we expect the central bank to have a neutral stance on monetary policy, meaning that the interest rate remains unchanged. The other guidance we will be looking out for from the central bank, especially following yesterday's executive commentary on taxes, is what their guidance is to the banks. Do we expect the lower cash reserve ratios that the banks currently have to continue, and for how long? And also an update in terms of how is the banking sector working, as well as investor sentiment when it comes to the economy through the survey that's normally facilitated by the central bank on a monthly basis. That's the second most important piece of information that we are looking out for. Then final thing before I take you to the statistics from the NSE is the executive address that was done yesterday by President Uhuru Kenyatta, speaking in alongside the Corona-19 conference, and he was speaking to some of the regulations and measures that have been instigated at a national level to be able to curb the COVID-19 pandemic in Kenya. A few notable changes were made. The curfew, the extension was actually moved. Initially, we had a curfew that was running from 4 a.m. in the morning and ending at 9 a.m. or rather you were able to move around freely from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. Now that extension means that you can move around freely till 11 p.m. in the night. This also allows bars and restaurants to be able to sell alcohol up until 10 p.m. each and every single day. These new measures are expected to be out for the next 60 days. Alongside this, the key decision that we were waiting for was whether or not the education sector would open, whether or not children will be going back to school. It looks like this decision is still yet to be confirmed, and there was no mention on any specific dates or point of action. All of this that we have heard from the executive office is the fact that there will be an allowance to sell alcohol in bars up until 10 p.m. On the sidelines of this, we have seen some marginal improvement on the price of East African Breweries, a company that manufactures and sells beer locally. You are probably engaging with it if you are taking the Senator brand, the Tusker brand, or if you are a consumer of Johnny Walker. Today, we have seen the price come up to 170 shillings per share, and in essence, investors are saying that finally the rough terrain is more or less over. This company normally runs its calendar year from 1st of July to 30th of June. It has been impacted negatively and quite adversely for the first 3 months of the calendar year. But it looks like now there's more light at the end of the tunnel as people begin to consume beer at least till 10 p.m. And then possibly as the economy begins to open up, we are seeing investors saying that now at this price level, we can see some light and there could be a good value point in terms of buying it for the long term. I usually just say, put simply, if you are a consumer of East African brewery products, you have absolutely no reason why you don't own these stocks. The minimum investment that you need is to buy 100 shares, which at the current price is 17,000 shillings. If you look at it at a standalone price point, it could be much. But if you look at it at how much do you consume in terms of alcoholic beverages in a month, and can you actually put something aside, because if you make this investment, you can gain when the price moves up. And initially before COVID, it was trading at about 200 to the 208 level. So that's already a healthy margin in terms of price appreciation. And possibly you could continue to earn in terms of dividend when the company pays out a dividend. So something certainly to think about. Let's take a look at what was happening on the NSE yesterday. These are the charts of the movements in the indices. We start off with the NSE All Share, which was marginally down over the day by minus 0.28 percentage points. This closed the day at 140 points. The NSE 20 share was down 2.58 percentage points to close the day at 1,850 points. What we are seeing on the NSE at this point is we are seeing a market that has been taken a beating because of COVID-19 and adverse investor sentiment, but now we are seeing a market where the investor sentiment is turning. At 1850 points, we are seeing the market trading at a price to earnings ratio of 9.2, and this is compared to an average of 13 times over the last 6 years. 9.2 certainly makes sense, and it tells you the market is cheap and there could be spaces or pockets of opportunity on the NSE. Let's take a look at what was happening with equity volumes at the beginning of the week. That's the next chart that's coming up shortly. So we have been tracking the performance of the NSE through our graphics team, and this data is facilitated and provided to us by the Harvest team, which is part of the Metropole Group. And we have been tracking the performance from the beginning of the month. We had a spike point at the middle of the month, that's 1.5 weeks ago. This was a huge trade that went through on Safaricom, 115 million shares. Today, at the start of the week, we had marginal performance. The share turnover that traded was slightly above 300 million shillings, and it was expected. Monday and Friday are normally very quiet days. That's pretty much what was happening. Let's take a look at the gainers and the movers of the day. For your benefit, just before I came to this show, I was looking at the market, and we have seen a huge trade go through Kenya Power. Over 3 million shares have been traded in Kenya Power and Lightning Company, and they were trading at between 1.8 shillings per share to 1.75 shillings per share. We also saw another huge trade go through Britam. Over 1 million shares were traded over the day. Today, it looks like the volumes might be slightly lower than yesterday, but we actually have the smaller caps dominating activity, mostly from local and domestic investor interest. In terms of the top movers on Monday, Safaricom was the top mover with 5.4 million shares traded over the day. It's now come back down below the 30 shilling mark, and just as I was coming to the studio just to have this recording, it was trading at about 29.5, 25.75. Cooperative Bank of Kenya, 2.14 million shares traded over the day. Not too much material news has happened there, and is still trading range bound at about 11.9 shillings per share. The only recent news we have had and worth evaluating, we hope to do this with you later on in the week, is its recent acquisition of Jamii Bora. And if you have been walking around, you've probably seen the new signage that says the Kingdom Bank, a subsidiary of Cooperative Bank. It's taken up these assets, it has rebranded, and it's now integrating this particular asset acquisition into its total operations. Absa Bank, a surprise mover for yesterday, 1.776 million shares traded. It's one of the top gainers today, but marginal improvement in terms of price is still trading below 10 shillings per share. Britam, a top mover on volume yesterday, 1.5 million. Same buyers back again in the market. Before we came in, they'd also traded slightly above 1 million shares. KCB Group, 778,000 shares traded. Let's look at the price movement and the top gainers as well as the top losers for the day. So we have the top gainers there. It's pretty much the small caps, so nothing peculiar happening here. The one we've been tracking has been the Stanlib Fahari iRate. That's the investment real estate investment trust, and it was up almost 4 percentage points yesterday to 5.24. If you missed our show on Friday, I would encourage you to go back to it, because we actually sort of took some time to understand this company. Last week we were understanding Kenya Re. The week before that we were taking a look at Fahari iRate. So I hope and I invite you to subscribe to the Metropole page, go to the Markets Today page, and see if you can be able to backtrack and understand what this company is all about as you begin to look at it. Equity Group again, up to 37.35. We've seen equity and KCB continue to propel upwards, and possibly they look like they could hit the levels they had hit towards the end of last year, which is about 45 shillings per share. There is a lot of momentum. Looks like the worst has happened, and we have seen reports coming out from some of the local stockbrokers, and this is Standard Bank Group in particular, and they had a report out last week on the banking sector. They're saying that the biggest concern is the non-performing loans, but excluding this, the operations of the Kenyan banks are quite robust in spite of what has happened with COVID-19. The only point of caution here is the fact that the banks have to get concurrence from the Central Bank of Kenya before they can actually issue a dividend. So you're possibly buying this, and your motivation is in the short term, which is 1 year or less, capital appreciation. In the long term, you probably have to hold them for at least over 2 years to be guaranteed of getting a dividend. Nation Media again has been a speculative buy, and we have seen it gain about 3 percentage points to 17.8. We have been seeing anything above 80 shillings per share. It's worth considering selling out of your position and picking it up when it goes down. The next chart shows us the top losers for the day. Top losers for the day, small caps dominated this performance. We have Flame Tree down 7.86% to 1.29 shillings per share. We have Unga Group down 6.25% to 30 shillings per share. Samia, Umeme, East African Cables all also on a downward trajectory. That's pretty much what was happening yesterday. Today, we don't expect volumes to be too much. The dominated trades we have seen so far are coming from Kenya Power, over 3 million shares traded at the 1.75, 1.8 shilling mark. Second big trade, Britam, continuing on the momentum from yesterday. Slightly over 1 million shares have already been traded. That's some key material activity happening over the day. We take a break. When we come back, we want to understand, when it comes to planning for your retirement, why is it important? What should your considerations be? And what are some of the returns that we are seeing in the market to be able to help you make this decision? We take a break. When we come back, we will have our guest who will join us virtually via Zoom, and I will be able to introduce him then. In the meantime, you know what to do. Get out your phone. 20146 is our SMS line. Alternatively, Mbithe Mwema is the name that you want to look out for on social media. Talk to us, or Metropole TV. What do you want to know about retirement benefits? Do you even have a pension fund? Does your employer provide one? Do you think about one? Does it make sense for you? We will be answering this when we come back after the break, and we will be speaking to a pension industry consultant from King's Court Services just to help us understand and demystify this conversation on retirement benefits. See you after the break.